Hello everyone, my name is Axel Leonardo Saragi. I am from class 10 Science 3 Absence 4. In this video, I want to tell you a story about the invention of telephone. The word telephone is from the Greek roots. Tele means far and phone means sound. Was applied as early as the late 17th century to the string telephone familiar to children. And it was later used to refer to the megaphone and the speaking tube. But in modern usage, it refers solely to electrical devices derived from the inventions of Alexander Graham Bell, Antonio Meucci, and others. The history started with Antonio Meucci, who began developing the design of a talking telegraph or telephone in 1849. He moved to America in 1850 and lived on Staten Island, New York. At the time, Esther, his wife, began to have health problems and was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, a chronic disease that confined her to her room. To communicate with her wife from his laboratory, located on the ground floor of the house, Meucci designed a teletrophono, a device called teletrophono, a type of electromagnetic telephone in 1856. From there, he designed dozens of new electromagnetic models, which was transmitted over vibrating electric currents. In 1857, Meucci wrote the principle of telephone, and in 1861, a description of it was reportedly published in an Italian-language New York newspaper. Although no known copy of that newspaper issue or article has survived to the present day, Meucci claimed to have invented a paired electromagnetic transmitter and receiver, where the motion of a diaphragm modulated a signal in a coil by moving an electromagnet, and so on December 1871 he filed the patent caveat for his device, Teletrophono. On 28 December 1874, Meucci Teletrophono patent caveat was expired, as Meucci couldn't afford to file for a patent or renew his caveat. Then, Meucci's model and technical details were lost to Western Union Telegraph Company, the company where Alexander Graham Bell and his assistant Thomas Watson working at. At the time, Bell already done some experiments related to the telegraph. The telegraph and the telephone are very similar in concept, and it was through Bell's attempts to improve the telegraph that he found the success with the telephone. Bell and Watson continued to work on the harmonic telegraph at the insistence of Hubbard and a few other financial backers. During March 1875, Bell met with a man called Joseph Henry with the knowledge of Hubbard. Joseph Henry was the respected director of the Smithsonian Institution. He listened closely to Bell's ideas and offered words of encouragement. Both Bell and Watson were spurred on by Henry's opinions and continued their work with even greater enthusiasm and determination. By June 1875, they realized their goal of creating a device that could transmit speech electrically would soon be realized. Their experiments had proven different tones would vary the strength of an electric current in a wire. Now, all they had to do was build a device with a switchable membrane capable of turning those tones into varying electronic currents, and a receiver to reproduce the variations and turn them back into audible format at the other end. In early June, Bell discovered that while working on his harmonic telegraph, he could hear a sound from over the wire. It was the sound of a twanging clock spring. It was on March 10, 1876, that Bell was to finally realize the success and communications potential of his new device. The possibilities of being able to talk down an electrical wire far outweighed those of a modified telegraph system, which was essentially based on just dots and dashes. According to Bell's notebook entry for that date, he describes his most successful experiment using his new piece of equipment, the telephone. Bell spoke to his assistant, Watson, who was in the next room, through the instrument and said his famous word, "Mr. Watson, come here. I want to speak to you." And so, the telephone continues to be developed until it becomes what it is today. The invention of the telephone is one of the greatest breakthroughs in human history, because the telephone has an important role in this modern era, wherein carrying out an activity, communication is necessary. Through the telephone, we can communicate easily, so we can provide information to other parties quickly too. For example, if there is a market that is on fire, we immediately call the fire department so that the impact of the fire will not be too big. Just imagine if there is no telephone. Maybe the impact of the fire will be even worse. This applies to everything. Therefore, we have to thank all of those involved in making the telephone. The results of their hard work are of great help to all of us. That is all I can tell. If there are some words that I said felt wrong for you, then pardon me. My name is Axel Saragi. Thank you for listening to me. Bye bye.